Welcome to Jackets TV, presented by Ohio Health. I'm Bob McElligott. It's another busy day here at Nationwide Arena as the Blue Jackets lock up another player, and they do so for the next 3 years. Restricted free agent Matt Calvert has been signed to a contract, and I've got Matt on the line right now, and a chance for you to ask him some questions too, and you can do that by sending me a tweet at BobbyMacSports. But Matt, first of all, thanks for taking a couple of minutes out of your day for me, as you have done so many times over the years. And congratulations. Welcome back to the fold here.
Thank you very much. Obviously excited to be back, and can't wait for the season to get started.
I got to ask you, this year was one where you spent some time injured. You didn't play as many games as you wanted to play. I'm sure there were times because of your injuries you didn't even play the way that you wanted to play, and it was a contract year. Was that tough at all, or were you able to separate, trying to be the best that you could, knowing that you needed a new deal, or did it play into your mind at all throughout the course of the season? How did that play out?
Yeah, I think that's always on the back of your mind. You want a little job security, and you want to know where you're going to be next year. But at the same time, you're in a very important year yourself, and there's always going to be injuries in hockey, and obviously you want to play as many games as possible. But you just got to go out there and give your all. I think every chance you get, and it was a fun year. Obviously disappointing. We wanted to be in the playoffs and have a chance to win the Stanley Cup, but I know the boys are going to be working hard this summer and hopefully staying healthy, and very excited to come back in October.
I know from talking to you last year and the very few times that this subject came up, you always made it clear to me that this is where you wanted to be. This is where you wanted to stay. So when this day finally comes and you ink that 3-year deal, how much better does that make you feel?
Very exciting. For me and my family, we're very excited to be back in Columbus. We love the city for the next 3 years, and obviously the group of guys. I think that's the big thing. I know when you're in contract talks, you talk about 1, 2, 3 years and so on, and we knew where we wanted to be, and we're very happy we could get a deal done for the next 3 years and make Columbus our home for that much longer.
This is actually a team, Matt, that looks a lot different from the last game that you played and from the time that you started these negotiations, quite frankly, because there have been some major upheaval here over the last couple of weeks. The biggest move, of course, is bringing in Brandon Saad from the Chicago Blackhawks. When you're sitting at home and you see a deal like that happen, what do you think as a player on this team?
Yeah, it's obviously tough seeing those guys go. We lost, Dano and Isimov, Trop, and more, and a big chunk of our forward group. But at the same time, you got a proven winner coming in, 2-time Stanley Cup champ, and I know he's only 22, but I think we can all learn a thing or two from him, and he knows what it takes to win. And I know they're talking about the Johansson Saad line already, and I know Joey can learn a lot from him too. So it's going to be great. We're going to soak up what we can from him, and I'm sure he's excited to be a real big part of our forward group in Columbus.
When you see a move like that being made, and really it's one that kind of takes the hockey world by storm, I don't think anybody really saw it coming. It was kind of an under the radar, and all of a sudden, bang, it happens. From the standpoint of being a Columbus Blue Jacket and just knowing how a deal like this is looked at in the hockey world, and then all of a sudden you have people really looking at you guys as a big-time contender, especially after an unfortunate year where you didn't make the playoffs. How does it make you feel that you see the organization making these kind of bold moves? They know where they want to be, and they're willing to go out and take these risks to kind of get there.
Yeah, I think they sent that message to the players at the end of the year. They want guys here that want to win and want to come to work and work hard every night. So it's great. It's a commitment from their part, and I think now it's our turn to show them our commitment and show what we can do. They've built this team, and we can't wait to show what we got. So we're pretty excited about that part, and it'll be fun welcoming new faces to the room.
All right, while we're on this subject, I'll take a Twitter question here from Courtney Matthews, who says, which player are you most sad to see leave, whether it was through that trade, whether it was through free agency? Can you pick one guy that you're most sad to see leave?
Oh, that's a tough question. Probably Mark Motestu for me. I was very close friends with him, and I know my wife was close friends with his wife, and I got to know his kids over the years. So that's always a tough one. He was a big part of our leadership group. So, every year in hockey, you got to expect these kind of things, and he's a tough guy for me to see go. But he's going to do great in Edmonton, and wish him well.
Yeah, and let's be honest, right at the end of the year, you were playing on a line with him, and you guys were very effective playing together. As a matter of fact, now when you look at that line that you finished the season on, 2/3 of it is gone. Mark Letestu gone via free agency, and now Jeremy Morin goes in the trade back to the Chicago Blackhawks for Brandon Saad. So I would say there's a little bit of uncertainty there, but the Blue Jackets did go out and sign Gregory Campbell, bringing him in, thinking that maybe he'll center that fourth line, probably would center that fourth line, I would say. So how do you see that move, the fact that one guy leaves and they go out and they get an experienced guy to come in?
Yeah, we lost a great player in Testy, but they obviously brought back a very similar player. But yeah, I played with Letestu and Morin to finish there, and I've always had great chemistry with Letestu, and I was starting to figure out Morin too, and we were working real well together too. So it's tough to see those two go, but I've seen Gregory Campbell over the years, and he's a solid player, and from what I've heard, a good PKer. So he's going to be a great addition for us, and it's the hockey world. You just got to move on, and he's just another piece of the puzzle for us.
You're a guy that's played all over the lineup with the Blue Jackets in your tenure here, sometimes in the top six, sometimes in the bottom six. As you look at it today, if you're to set it up on paper today, you're more than likely in that bottom six. Is that a big deal for you, or do you feel you're still going to get your ice time through penalty killing and you can jump out on a power play? Do you feel that you're versatile enough that you're going to be able to get enough ice time to be happy?
For sure. That's one thing I've never really looked at is where you're penciled in at the start of the season, because I seem to always be penciled in the bottom six or the fourth line. So for me, I'm a competitive guy. I want to earn my ice time, and I know with the coaching staff, you play well, and you earn your ice time, you'll get it, and you'll get rewarded. So that's all I'm focused on is myself right now, and I think that's how good teams work too. You have that inner competitiveness. Speaking for the forwards in particular, you push each other, and that's something the coaches and management held us to a high standard. And if we weren't playing our best, maybe threatened to move us down the lineup or scratch us, but now we're just going to have each other to push. So I'm pretty excited about that. And you look around the league, and you could say, if I'm on this team, I might be a second, third liner, but those aren't the teams that go far. And I think that's something that's going to be huge for us. And I can't wait to get in the mix with all the forwards and push each other all year.
Maybe you'll be the new Mark Letestu, Mr. Versatility, the guy that can play anywhere, and if somebody's not performing that's playing on a line above you, they might find themselves looking at you playing on that wing.
Yeah, I guess I would like to be that guy, but I'd also like to be the guy in the top nine and someone else looking at me. So it's going to be a fun year. I'm excited and just trying to get better this summer and keep working out hard and come to camp in the best shape I can.
All right, I got another question for you here. This comes from Levi Combs, who says that Matt is by far the best penalty killer in the league. Did you know you were the best penalty killer in the league?
No, I thought maybe top five, but not the best.
Well, here's the rest of the question. What do you focus on when you're on the penalty kill that makes you so effective in that role?
First of all, for me, just focus on the system. We switch it up every night, depending on the team you're playing. If you got Ovechkin hitting one-timers on the one side, you might have to favor that a little more. And if you're playing Datsuk in Detroit, you got to respect his skill. So I think every night you adapt. And after that, a big thing for me, my biggest strength on penalty kill is being able to forecheck and hem them in their zone for 10 or 20 seconds. So, take care of your own zone, get the puck out and put pressure on those D, because I know our power play D don't want to be playing defense. They want to be getting points. So they usually have the offensive mindset, which helps a lot and leads to more chances.
All right, Jed Coughlin III has this question for you. It says, other than the playoffs, so this is kind of a trick question because you probably would have went for the playoffs, I would imagine. Other than the playoffs, what is your best memory as a Columbus Blue Jacket? And he also says, by the way, happy to have you back for 3 more years. So if you take away that overtime game winner in the playoffs, Matt Calvert, which is hard to do, but you have to, what would you say is your favorite memory as a Blue Jacket?
Individually, I guess I'd have to say scoring a hat trick. That was an unbelievable feeling. You get hat tricks throughout junior and your minor hockey career, but in the NHL, it's something you only dream of. And it was just one of those nights, everything was going right, and I think it's something that I'll remember forever.
Come on, not fighting Rick Nash. Where does that rank?
No, I don't think that ranks that high. But
that ranks high in a lot of people's minds, buddy. There are pictures hanging in the media room of that fight.
Yeah, no, that was fun. Me and Nasher obviously never had any problems when we played with each other, but it's just that's the great thing about hockey. You see the guy, you'd say hi to him, but sometimes you just have to drop the gloves and fight each other when you're on the ice.
Yeah, and you're willing to do that, obviously. I mean, your game is well-rounded. You know when the time is to do something or when not to do something. One thing that over the years that people have said to me, does Matt Calvert play a little bit too reckless, a little bit too hard? He winds up getting hurt a lot with his size. Are you going to change your game, or are you what you are, and that's what you're going to do regardless?
Yeah, I am what I am. There's maybe some situations where I might not get myself into as much. I could be a little smarter. But for me, when I'm on the ice, I'm a competitive guy. All I want to do is win. All I want to do is win the next battle, win the next shift, score a goal, stop someone defensively. So I think once you start thinking of not getting hurt or not getting yourself into situations, that's when you do get hurt. And the last 2 years, obviously, I haven't played as many games as I wanted to. But those are the first 2 years of my whole career that I've really missed any kind of hockey. So switching some things up this summer, trying to work out hard but relax a little bit more. I'm kind of an energizer bunny. I like to do a lot of stuff, so I've been managing that well, and just ready to play some hockey and play a full season. So I can't wait.
After a year like last year, people are always asking, what positives can you pull out of a season like that was so disappointing with all the injuries for not just you but for everybody on the team. But Heather Danielle wants to know, what is a favorite memory that you've had from this past season? Because I'm sure personally there's something positive that you pulled out of there that you really enjoyed too.
Yeah, you know what? As frustrating as the past season was, there's always positives to pull out, and that's the stuff you have to build off of and think about. Because you think about the negatives, you learn from them. The positives you build off of, and I think this is the one thing I really remember is that final stretch we had. I don't know what the record was, but the last 15 or so games, we were a tough team to beat, and we were playing a lot of teams that were hungry for their playoff lives, and they were playing some of their best hockey, and it tends to go up a level the last quarter of the season when teams are battling like that, and we showed up, and obviously we were healthy, and that was kind of the thing all year. We always say we had so many injuries, but when we get this group together, it's very fun to play with, and that's probably my best memory from this year.
All right, last week we had development camp here, and there was a young man in that camp, Keegan Colasar, who was just drafted by the Blue Jackets a couple of weeks ago down in Florida. And he's a Manitoba native. And when I talked to him, he talked about you and how much he's looking forward to meeting you and talking to you and picking your brain. And it made me think about a conversation that you and I had when we sat down during the season last year about how when you do go home to Brandon, you like to talk to the young kids. You're okay with being a role model in that community, showing kids that if you work hard, you can achieve your dreams. And when I was talking to this kid, I thought of that conversation. Now, I know you told me just before we started here you haven't had a chance to actually meet him yet, but hey, this is all coming into reality now, Matt. I mean, now you're the role model that is playing in the NHL, and here's a guy that's been drafted that may play in the NHL. Heck, he could be your teammate at some point in time. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it's exciting. It makes you feel proud too. First of all, it's great to see a Manitoba boy drafted. It's always, we got such a small province. You got Winnipeg and then a bunch of rural cities and towns after that. So it's always good to see guys come out of here. We have great hockey programs. And, I got a chance to talk to him over text message, a few different texts we exchanged, and seems like a great kid, really motivated, and he has all the connections in Brandon too. He's got some cousins here I know, and also Ryan White, who's in Philly. He knows him very well too. So sure I'll get a chance to meet him this summer before camp. And as for being a role model, it's great. At our gym, we got kids ranging from 13 to all the way up to my age. I'm kind of the old guy now. So I get to see these kids.
That's
all
not
the
a bad
time.
thing, by the way. It's always good to be
Yeah.
old enough to be the old guy. You know that.
Exactly. So I get to see these kids working out, and they're at different levels, whether they're in midget hockey, junior A, Western Hockey League, college. So I see it all, and anytime they need to talk or ask me some advice or use my story to give them some hope, it's great, and I like to do what I can in the community. So yeah, it's I definitely enjoy being here in the summer and trying to make an impact in the city.
All right, speaking of the summer, what's on tap for you between now and when you come back to get ready for training camp?
Not a whole lot.
Don't tell me to work out hard every day. Don't give me any of that, okay? Give me the straight
Training
scoop. What's on your
hard,
radar?
protein shakes. No, well, the standard. Obviously, that's part of our job. And then after that, you usually have the full day to do what you want. I love to golf, always on the course. I got a pontoon boat. I love to hit the lake. We got the fishing package on there, so me and my buddies will go fishing when we can. And building a cottage actually at the lake, an hour north of Brandon, Thomas Lake it's called. So that project's getting started this summer. So just a few decisions on that. Got to get my interior designer skills out and see what I got. And going to San Francisco next week actually for a little bit of a vacation. So that's about it. And Ryan Johansson's golf tournament actually in August too. So I got some events coming up. Very excited about the Johansson golf tournament. It should be great to see all the boys and see what Joey's like in the summer up in Van.
See how good his golf game is, right?
He's got a pretty average golf game. I already know how that is. He got me last summer, but I tend to beat him. So hopefully he hears this interview.
Hey, what is? I'll send it to him. Don't worry about that. What interior decorating of a cottage on a lake? What's that going to entail? Is that like taking one of those fish and hanging it up on the wall, or what? What do you put there?
Well, yeah, I got to catch that fish. In Manitoba, we call if you get to a certain size fish, you call it a master angler, and that's kind of my goal. We fish for northern pike a lot, or jackfish, whatever you want to call them, and also walleye or pickerel. So yeah, we try for the big boys, and I still haven't got one of those yet. But if I catch it, I'm definitely going to put her up in the cottage and show it off a little bit.
Until you get that, get one of those ones that turns its head and sings to you every time somebody walks in the room.
I'm sure there'll be one there.
I'm sure that you'll be allowed to put that one up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Matty, I'll let you go back to enjoy the rest of your day. Again, thanks for taking some time for me and for the Blue Jackets fans. And we couldn't be more ecstatic that you signed that 3-year deal. Can't wait to see you when you come back to get ready for training camp.
Awesome. Can't wait.
All right, that's Matt Calvert joining us. Again, he signed a 3-year contract extension. He was a restricted free agent. He and the Blue Jackets come to terms on a 3-year deal, and that means he'll be back here in August getting ready for that September camp. That's going to do it for me. I'm Bob McElligott. Thanks for tuning in to Jackets TV, presented by Ohio Health.